we will wait for everybody to get on here. Looks like everybody's in. Okay, we are, obviously the deadline's passed. There are no other deals from the Rangers, so we will take questions. You want to use the hand raise function or just motion in the video? Jeff, go ahead.
Oh, hey, Chris. Just what do you think of what you guys were able to accomplish the last couple of days?
Yeah, Jeff, certainly excited about the players we added. Two players who I think help our team and improve us in areas of need. And, we'll start with Carson Kelly, veteran catcher who's having a tremendous season. Certainly, we've had Jonah and Kiz behind the plate this year. And I think that Carson offers an ability to really kind of upgrade and improve our catching situation. We know Kiz hasn't played to the level that he's capable. He handled it very well in terms of getting optioned and recognizes the opportunity for him to go down and get regular at bats and hopefully come back up and contribute. But we feel like we're very solid behind the plate with Jonah and Carson. And then moving on to Andrew Chafin in the bullpen, as we looked at our team and where we are, and what we need moving forward. Certainly, Jake Latz has done a great job as a left-handed reliever. We've gotten Cody Bradford back, who's in the bullpen, but having a veteran of Andrew's caliber to be in our bullpen to help shorten games, to go with Josh Spores and Jose Leclerc and David Robertson and Kirby Yates, we feel very good about the bullpen and the ability to shorten games as we go into the last 2 months of the season here, and then hopefully we play well enough to get into the postseason where all these guys are postseason tested and will play vital roles for us should we get there.
Yeah, I mean, these seem like very not splashy moves, but it seems like maybe you guys didn't need to be splashy. You just need what you have to maybe perform a little more.
Yeah, Jeff. I mean, I think it speaks to our confidence level in this roster. We really believe in the group we have. We've pitched very well all year. Offensively, we're getting healthy right now, getting Josh Young back tonight. And I truly believe our best baseball is ahead of us these next 2 months. So I think it's a big sign of confidence, a show of confidence in this group and their ability, their talent level. And I'm excited to see this come together. But this division is very tough. Houston's very good. Seattle's very good. And we certainly have dug ourselves a little bit of a hole here, but nobody's run away with the division. And we feel confident that these next 2 months, if we play to the level that we think we can, that we can compete for the division title.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Chris, can I ask a question?
No.
Okay.
Yes, you can, Evan.
Sorry, I've had some cell phone issues, so I'm struggling to grasp technology here. Do you feel like that your offense, as you've said before, I think your offense has better days for production ahead? Way like what might constitute an upgrade offensively to what you've already got? Do you feel like the prices were just too exorbitant for what the actual specific need was?
Yeah, Evan, it's a good question. I mean, we obviously monitored the position player market, the bat market, and recognizing that we've had some trouble scoring runs. But I think the best real upgrades that we're going to find offensively with our roster come internally with, one, the addition of Josh Young coming back, and then some of our own guys starting to perform up to the level of their capability. And we, no doubt, we've had some underperformance, and we're expecting some positive regression in terms of these guys performing at the level that we think they're capable. And if we do that and getting JJ back, we just looked at our position player group as a very, very solid position player group. It's not too dissimilar from the group we had last year that won the World Series and was an elite offensive team. So We felt like our internal additions and improvement are the best way to upgrade this club. And while we were engaged on the hitting market, the position player market, we just didn't feel like there was anything out there that was a perfectly obvious fit that improved us.
Yeah, I guess that's like where I'm going. It seems like almost to try and shoehorn somebody in, somebody would have had to lose playing time, and you haven't had a chance to look at your offense with Josh in it for any length of time. And it just feels like it would have been a hard fit to make happen.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, there was not a natural fit out there. We had great conversations with a number of clubs, but in the end, we trust the group we have. We believe in this group, and we think our best baseball is still ahead of us, especially on the offensive side.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Hey, Chris.
No, Stefan, let's let Kennedy go. She's had her hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see a hand.
All right. Thanks.
Everybody was just jumping me. Fine. Chris, I wanted to ask just about the Lorenzen trade specifically. I guess what's the immediate outlook for your guys' rotation with John going on the IL? And I guess two-parter to that is what did you guys like about Pennington return there?
Yeah, I think as it related to Michael, I think part of the equation here was that Michael signed here to start, and even with the injury to John Gray, which happened really kind of after we had were in talks on the Lorenzen deal, we just felt like we owed it to Michael to give him the opportunity to start. He's going to have that in Kansas City. But secondly, we're going to have a crunch here coming with Tyler Mahle returning, Cody Bradford's back. I mean, we felt like we had some protection in the length and the ability to fit starters in, and then eventually Jacob deGrom coming back. So looking ahead, one, in terms of being fair to Michael and giving him an opportunity that he deserved, that was part of it. But secondly, we felt like we're getting a reliever in Walter, who has had a lot of success at AAA. We really like him. He's a carry forward piece into 2025 and beyond. And building our bullpen next year is going to be critically important to our success next year. So the opportunity to acquire someone who can help us now and in the future was really important to us in making this decision to move Michael. And I can't speak enough in terms of what Michael has meant to us, how well he's performed, what a huge addition to get him at the end of spring training. He stepped right in and has performed unbelievably well and given us a chance in so many games that he pitched. And we certainly wish him well in KC.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Stephen.
Am I allowed? Stefan?
You can wait, Stefan, just for another minute. Hey, Chris, we talked last year. Obviously, there was a lot of difference at the deadline. You got Max, you got Jordan. You added starting pitcher. This year, we talked about. Seems like all year that the acquisitions this year are going to be what you're getting back. And you just mentioned Tyler and Jacob and Cody and all that. Do you sense everything is on track to where you need it to be for those guys? I mean, is everybody kind of Tyler's been making the progression? Jacob's about to start throwing the hitters. Is that kind of where you need it to be right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Jacob is doing wonderfully, and Tyler is completing his rehab. He's got another rehab start tomorrow, at which point we'll evaluate how he's feeling and if he's ready to jump back into the rotation. We're certainly excited to get him back. We know how hard he's worked, and we know how good he can be. So we're excited to get him back, but we want to make sure he's both physically and mentally prepared and ready, as we will Jacob when the time comes. But these two are certainly trending the right direction, with Tyler's arrival being, what I will classify as relatively imminent, and Jacob, hopefully we're looking at sometime in the next, 30, 40 days, somewhere in there, to get him back, assuming everything goes according to plan. And those are two huge additions to our pitching staff. And then getting JJ back, Josh Young, I mean, there's no secret what our record has been with and without JJ over the past 2 years. And so not to say that he's going to step right in and be in midseason form, but I think getting his energy and leadership back in our clubhouse and our dugout and on the field provides a boost to everybody. And it lengthens our lineup, and having him out there is just seeing the guys play last night. It looked like our team, in my opinion. And Josh didn't play, but he's a big part of that. And then Zeke Duran too. I mean, Zeke has done everything he can possibly do in terms of going down to AAA, making some swing adjustments, and I thought he swung great last night. And his energy and presence is a big part of our team too. So those are all big additions. The one addition that I'll mention that we're probably not going to get is Evan Carter. Evan's back, continues to give him a little bit of trouble when he ramps up his hitting progression. We've seen multiple specialists in the past week and determined that Evan is going to need a more lengthy time period to rest his back without rotational activity. So, I'm not overly optimistic that we're going to see Evan again in the regular season. That's just going to take some time, and we want to protect him. He's a huge part of our future. That said, I'm extremely confident in the position player group we have, and excited to see our team from a position player side as healthy as we've been this season right now.
You kind of just brought up what I was going to ask. I mean, clearly this team has not lived up to some of the expectations, hasn't played its best throughout the year. But have you seen enough, it seems like, to feel confident that things can turn around these last couple of weeks and last months of the season?
Well, I believe in our group. I believe in our group of guys. I believe in the culture. I believe in the people that we have down there in terms of the players, the staff, and every team has their stretch where they have their best 2 or 3 months of baseball, and my hope is that ours is still yet to come. There's no reason to believe that these guys can't put it together. We're right there in the thick of things, and I think this team showed unbelievable resolve and character last season when things were tough, and so I expect the same from this group again this year. And I'm looking forward to watching these next 2 months. I'm excited for our fans to come and watch these guys come together and find a way to win.
All right, thanks, Chris.
All right, let's let Stefan go, then Jeff, then Evan.
Chris, how much, if any, are you in on the discussions with Boch as far as tweaking the lineup and moving Simeon?
Yeah, those are discussions we collaborate on constantly. We talk. I'm not with the team right now. I'm in Arlington, but Boch and I have talked every day, and he keeps me apprised of some of the thoughts that he and the staff are having. We have our analyst with the team. We have our R&D department here in Arlington, who we're constantly collaborating and exchanging ideas, thoughts, information, and trying to find ways to optimize our chances to win.
Thanks.
Hey, Chris, you talked about Josh and Ezekiel changes they've made. Are there also maybe some underlying things you're seeing that go beyond the traditional stats that make you believe that the offense is going to get better? Or are you looking at the back of their baseball cards and just saying at the end of the year, these guys are going to be who they are?
It's a combination of both, but it's also the compound effect each player has on each other. When you lengthen the lineup and you get a piece like Josh Young back who fits into the middle of the order, it takes a little bit of pressure off the guys who are in those spots. So whether it's Wyatt or Josh Smith or even Adolis, Nate Lowe, it just lengthens the lineup, and it's one more solid hitter for the opposing pitcher to prepare for. And there are no breaks. And I think last year there were no breaks in our lineup, and the continuity of the lineup, the quality of at bat, top to bottom. And I think at times this year we've had some holes, and we've had some guys that just maybe weren't quite ready to be in the positions they were in. And now I feel like we're a more complete and whole lineup. And that just is a compound effect, not only on the opponent, but for each other too, to go up there with confidence, knowing that the guy behind you is going to get it done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, CY, was there a point, I don't know, maybe today when you looked and you say, okay, like you just said, Mally is pretty much imminent. Jacob threw 45 today and actually said to us that he feels confident he's going to contribute before this year is over. You added Chafin for your bullpen. You added Bradford for your bullpen. You've got Josh back, and you've added Carson Kelly for your bench and Zeke for your bench. Did you at any point in time take stock and say, look, we've made 7 additions to our roster? In any way, do you feel that way?
I do. I absolutely do, Evan. I think that I'm proud of the roster that we put together. I congratulated our guys today. It was, compared to last year, a little bit slower deadline for us in terms of this wasn't we didn't have the big moves, the splashy moves, the headliners necessarily. But I think also it's a function of where the roster stands. And we just looked at our roster every way we could over the last couple of weeks since the draft. And there just are not that many ways we felt to improve what is a very good roster. And our expectation is that that's going to come together here these last 2 months of the season, and these guys are going to smell it. They're going to know what's at stake, and they're championship caliber players, and they're going to go and live up to the expectation. That's my belief in this group, and we knew that we had a couple places that we could try to get better and improve, and we think we've done that with Carson and Andrew.
And then the one other thing, and it may be unfair because this is singling out a guy, but Adolis is so important to your lineup, and he is at the center of so much. Can this lineup be optimized without Adolis ticking up significantly?
Yeah, no lineup should be dependent on any one player's performance, Evan, and that's just the reality of it. And so I think that while Adolis has struggled the last couple of months here, he's a little bit under a microscope because he's been out there playing, and we've lost several other guys, and the pressure has fallen on Adolis's shoulders to maybe make up for what we've lost in terms of injury. And then you couple that with a little bit of underperformance in a couple other spots, and I don't think it's fair to put this on Adolis or say the season hinges on him. No team and their success depends on any one player. It's the collective group. And so I think as we get healthy here and we have our group together, it should take a little bit of pressure off of each individual. And my expectation is when, a couple of them get rolling here, and Adolis is one of those, as he gets rolling, he can carry the team. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited to see what plays out here.
And then just the last thing on Carter. So we're not talking about any kind of surgical procedure. This is strictly a matter of rest. And are you guys still operating with the idea that he's going to grow out of this, or do you need to look at like some additional core mass?
No, I think that these are in these types of injuries, based on what I understand from the experts that Evan has seen, is that it's not a long-term concern. It's something that we just simply have not given him enough time. We followed the doctor's recommendations in terms of the current timeline, but bodies heal differently, and we try to predict timelines, and sometimes we beat those timelines and sometimes we don't. And in this case, we just didn't give him enough time, and he needs a little bit further or more extensive time to rest this and let it heal, at which point the doctors are very confident. He's already on a very good core program and all the exercises and stretches that you would do to protect it, but swinging a bat violently with an extreme amount of force does put torque on a sensitive area, and we just haven't given enough time to heal, and we've got to step back and give him the time that he deserves, that he needs, and Evan will be fine moving forward.
Anyone have anything else?
I do. It's just kind of a clarifying thing that I've gotten confused over. Players who are designated for assignment here the last couple of days, are they eligible to be traded after the deadline because the transaction took place prior to the deadline?
No, I think no more trades can take place after
Okay. All right.
a half hour ago.
Okay. I wasn't sure if Davis Wenzel gets claimed, or if you guys were able to
Davis, we moved to Cincinnati. We traded Davis to Cincinnati right before. I don't know if that was announced, but we did make a trade with the Reds for cash considerations for Davis.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks everybody. Thanks, CY. We appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Appreciate you joining.